Oh yeah, yeah. Check. 1, 2. Julian is back. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can feel me. Hyper. Guys, here we go again. Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to a new episode of A Sense of Capital Crunch Time. Your host of today, as always, is Julian. And before I go on, I definitely need to activate the air condition of my automotive vehicle, because otherwise I will get burned in the sun of the night. Because it's quite warm in Germany. I'm not used to do this. Look at my skin. I'm a more Eastern European guy. So definitely a small struggle for me. Wait. Quick hello into the chat as well. I hope it's working. I checked already. I think 1 or 2 people are already in. Very glad that I'm not sticking here around alone. And I think, as always, we need to definitely try to be on time today, because last earnings results of STONECO, the company out of Brazil, Fintech, digital bank, who knows? We will try to find an answer of this question today. Is very likely on time, and 1 quarter ago they released their earnings results actually already at 3:30 p.m. European, Eastern time, or where I'm located in Germany, Leipzig, it's 9:30 Central European time. Yeah, so that's what's going on. But before we jump in, guys, as always, a quick disclaimer that in the upcoming minutes, let's say 45 till 90 minutes, hi Desai, thank you very much for joining. It's nice to see you again. Very likely I didn't pronounce your name correctly. However, it is how it is. I will work on it. Guys, a quick disclaimer that, as always, in the upcoming minutes, this will not be any financial consultation, advice whatsoever, and there's no guarantee or proof for the data I will provide. Yeah, so always make sure you do your own evaluation and check the information I will communicate, if they are correct or not correct, those informations. And guys, yeah, I'm somehow, even if Estonia is not ranked on position number 1 for me anymore, somehow I'm very motivated for this call, and especially for this earnings. I have good feeling somehow. I have some good feeling, even if I have the feeling we are a little bit more in the more bearish period. However, guys, let's jump in. I share my slides, and always a little bit late on time, so I need to check always if you can see it, and if not, I adjust a little bit the size of the screen. However, so guys, today, Q1 2024 earnings results, announcements, publication, release, however you want to name it, of STONECO, Fintech company out of Brazil. So you need to know that STONECO is basically separated in 2 major services or product support and supply. So the main one is definitely here, as you can see here, the point of sale solutions, yeah, which is called Stone or Ton. There are different versions, yeah. Very likely wherever you are located in your region, this kind of terminals primarily utilized in retail stores, no matter if it's restaurants or public pharmacies or whatever. Your barber around the corner can be located everywhere, or even if the delivery boy of Grab, I'm a shareholder of another, let's say, Uber copy. If they get utilized like this is the where everything starts to begin. That's the core business. And then there are different further solutions, like some ERP tools, CRM tools, how you can analyze and digitize different process steps of when you are a retailer, when you are a company owner, to get more insights about your data and just improve your processes, yeah, of serving your clients. And so that's already one aspect we need to keep in mind, that STONECO is really a business to business, yeah. So it's not They are not addressing me as a private person or you as a private person. They really try to address the companies, small business, especially micro businesses, how they call this in Brazil. And those solutions are just available in the Brazil market, in their home market. And then there's the second part of the business. This is what you can see here. It's called Links. It's one of the, I think it was the largest digital acquisition back then in 2022, 2021, I guess. And they provide even further retail ERP solutions, yeah? Like you can see here for cosmetic stores, delivery, whatsoever, as well pharmacies, a lot of key account businesses, as you can see here, larger customer base, very well-known brands like Samsung or Shell, and 46 or let's say 50% market share, active I think in 16 countries. You can see here 17 offices just alone in Brazil. So quite spread and diversified around Latin America, South America and Mid-America. So these are the two primary businesses, yeah. So first of all, the point of sale solutions and connected ERP solutions, and then the brand Links, which was acquired 2022, 2021 for something like I think $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, this is only focused service software business basically. Yeah, so really enterprise resource planning solutions, is it correctly? I'm not sure if I'm using the right words, but I guess you know what I'm talking about. And I basically like the combination, but we need to be honest, guys. In the past quarters, the software part, the Links part, is not developing so great. The synergies between the core business and the side hustle, the growing star Links, is not really developing in the right direction. And so there was already some restructuring in terms of the management was going on, and now they want to set the focus here on petrol stations and really retail stores to dig the synergies between Links and the point of sale solutions of STONECO. However, didn't happen till now. But on the other side, something is very good and is establishing very well and growing very well, is another side hustle of STONECO, and that is basically developing more and more in the position of bank institute, yeah? So providing credits, loans, where customers can deposit their money, some whatever kind of stuff. Yeah, regularly they have a take rate. So let's say when you pay with your card, $100 or Brazilian real, and all of the stuff today is stated in Brazilian real. So later on we will talk about the exchange rate, but this is what you need to keep in mind as well, please, guys. So let's say $100 is paid by the customer, and then STONECO has a take rate of 3%, so they keep $3 US dollars. So that is the core business, let's say it like this. But now they have, next to the software business, next to this ERP stuff, they have this kind of classical digital banking business and support, which they roll out more and more heavily. And that is at least covering on a very strong path, in a very strong way, the deficits which are existing still in the Links business. Yeah. Okay, guys. Just a few information about the company and what I basically, how I'm invested. I need to check it by myself because I made some notes. And okay. So it's my fifth. No, that's not correct. It's ranked on number 4th or 5th stocks I'm a shareholder of, so on position 4th. And I have roughly $10,000 invested. I'm invested since a little bit more than a year. It was ranked on 2nd after HIMSS for basically whole 2023. But then the price raised, and I honestly don't think it's that cheap anymore. Yeah, I mean, investing in this company, just from my point of view, is definitely not a bad decision. But for instance, me personally, I would very likely prefer HIMSS and HERS. Yeah, if I just would not be invested in any of those stocks. Yeah, But it depends on your background. I mean, maybe you're willing to do a little bit more exotic bet and being active in Latin America when you are someone like me from Europe. You want to bet on the nation Brazil and Latin America, on the overall development of the economy of the youth, which getting more digitalized with mobile phones, with smartphones and this kind of stuff. So that is something what is really appealing for me, and maybe gives a little bit an advantage compared to Hims and Hers. And what we should not forget is that actually STONECO is quite profitable company. Yeah, so currently it has a PE of 9. Here we go. So that is currently that are the. Oh, microphone is going on and off. That's not that nice. Is it still the case? Lawn mover man, can you let me know if it's working or not? It would be great. I hope that it's getting fixed automatically and I don't need to change something. However, these are the stocks I'm currently a shareholder of, and on the bottom row there's STONECO, and as you can see, the sales growth is compared, it's a mix, a blend out of 2024, 2025, is compared to the other stocks I'm a shareholder of, low with 13% expected one, yeah? Hi Osin! Great to hear it's working and great that you joined, all of you guys. So it's comparatively low, but then you take a look at the EV sales, and actually there's already quite appealing. The attractiveness of the stock is starting it starts to shine, even though, I mean, EV sales, PE, that is not everything. Okay, nice to hear it's working now. Thank you very much for the update. Good community, that's very supportive, honestly, guys. So EV sales under 2, I think it's quite attractive, and especially when you compare it to the price earnings ratio of 9. Yeah, so below 10. From my perspective, very attractive, and honestly, I purchased it because of this high focus on profit, of this high potential what I see still there in this company, and I'm quite convinced that if the price should stick to the current level and they develop as I expect, that in 2-3 years I could imagine there is a PE of 5 or something like this. Yeah, not unrealistic. And then I think it's already quite cheap, as I mentioned, for me. And you can see here a look in the columns of fair price multiplicator, and it's not like STONECO should be worth 1.5 times of the current price. That's not what is the statement of this fair price multiplicator. It's just a comparison between different stocks, yeah. And maybe you have knowledge about Nu, about Hims, about Grab, about ALFEN, or PayPal, or whatsoever. And I think PayPal was something like 0.8 when I checked it the last time 1.5 months ago. So compared to this kind of stocks, it's still comparatively cheap, yeah, STONECO. But compared to the other stocks I'm a shareholder of, not that cheap, and it's not a bargain. But that's the reason why, honestly, today, guys, I called this call. How call it? A win in what is the name of this call? Something like a win in any case, or something like this. And the reason for this is actually because I sold privately something, so now I have on the side something like, let's say, $6,000-7,000 US. Maybe there are other ways to utilize this money, but I thought, okay, maybe I buy a new stock, a new company, and I thought about 2 digital ones, GitLab and Sentinel-1, which is quite attractive for me somehow. I want to be a little bit more invested in the digital area, and the AI area as well. However, I will never get used to this kind of stocks. Will never have a good feeling about it. So therefore, for today, my plan is either I'm stacking up with STONECO by basically good results and the prices increases and get good tailwind, or on the other side, or option B, is that they miss. Maybe they miss slightly, and I can imagine even if they miss slightly on the profit or on the revenue side or on the guidance as well, I could imagine that this has a quite heavy impact on the price, because I just think we are a little bit more the market is a little bit under higher tension, a little bit more bearish touched at the moment, and I think really even small misses can result in larger losses. And if this should be the case, yeah, that the miss is not that strong, but the loss is quite strong in terms of the price of the stock, then I'm ready to purchase more shares. Not sure how much, very likely not all of the money, but let's see, maybe 2, 3, 4,000 US dollars, depending what will happen. Yeah, best case they just perform well, and the third scenario is they really miss strongly, and then let's see what will happen. You know, that is something what I simply don't hope for. I'm always the type of person, even if I have money in the bank, I would prefer that the stock performs well, and yeah, the price just raises by on organic natural behavior, and I don't need to repurchase more stocks and more shares. I'm happy with it, but let's see. Okay guys, and last earnings, as you can see here, was red. There's a minus, and why was it red? As you can see here guys, I hope you can see it. Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, honestly, the expected release date of today was not 100% accurate, but however, I rated it negative. And why? So revenue was a miss. Yeah, revenue was a miss. We can quickly take a look at investing.com, a website which I use for this kind of purposes. So right now, stock market is not closed, 12 minutes left roughly. Let's see when they will release their results. But yeah, we will keep an eye on it. And let's go to the history of the results. And here we are. Let's check. Oh, that's not good. Wait one moment. I need to Okay, so update this one. And there we go. And then we take a look at the former earnings results. Yeah, you can see it, I guess. So profit side is developing amazingly magnificent, you can tell, like the Magnificent Seven. So here definitely heading into the right direction. Huge beats, get always stronger. I mean 6. Again, it's real, Brazilian real. Maybe at this stage I share you what is the currency exchange rate. Here, as you can see, year to date, it dropped actually, so real is getting a little bit weaker by roughly 6%. But yeah, when we take a look, it's okay, it's still dropping, honestly, it's still dropping. But as you can see here, since mid of 2020, it's quite solid, even rising a little bit slightly. So even year to date, minus 6%, but looks quite solid. However, most important for today is when you are not familiar with the currency Brazilian real, the exchange rate is US dollars real 1 to 5. So I will have always my problem today with it. When you are used to my streams, you will know it, that sometimes I'm messing up the numbers. However, 1 to 5 is the ratio, and so as you can see, really, but we will stay in real now for taking a look at the former results. And so I mean, one year ago they just beat the profit side, the bottom part, with 6 cents or 6 Brazilian real cents, is it called like this, and then by 8, and then already hitting up with 20, and the latest call with actually 33. Yeah, so the gap is getting larger and larger, and even though the forecast is just 1 cent more, 1 Brazilian real cent, I'm very sure it's not like this. However, I do not want to Google it right now. Yeah, it's developing really strongly. On the other end, and that's very uncommon for the stock, because you can see they deliver quite reliable. The revenue side, the top side, the top line was missed since quarters, and quite strongly actually. Yeah, quite strongly. So again, the forecast not that high. Depends a little bit, or is a little bit affected by seasonality actually. I mean, take a look at May and March here as well, a little bit lower. I mean, you can imagine by yourself, Christmas season and all this kind of stuff. So this has definitely an impact on the business. However, the forecast drop is quite low. The barrier is not that high. even though I purchased it for the profit perspective on potential, I want to see that, of course, that the revenue is developing as well and heading in the right direction. And hopefully that will be a comeback. Yeah, so we can take a look what happened after they missed the revenue, and I think 18th here. Yeah, you can see it here. Here's the gap. It wasn't that strong actually because profit was so strong. A lot of other numbers have been very strong, but yeah, they dropped a little bit. The price dropped a little bit, but from this on, it was more or less quite stable. Yeah, and look here. I mean, Warren Buffett was invested into the stock till last quarter actually. Yeah, Warren Buffett with Berkshire Hathaway himself. Yeah, the value got out of Omaha. I mean, I'm not a big follower, but I can only push respect in his direction. And yeah, however, so that is as well for some of the investors bad news because they trust the oracle out of Omaha, Warren Buffett, and when he is de-investing in this kind of, or he's getting out of these investments, that's sometimes really a tell, you know, that's a statement. However, as you can see, even though it looks from 1 year perspective going up and up, and I'm actually up by roughly, I think 80% since I'm invested. On the long term or mid-term, let's say 3 years, 2-3 years, quite stable, quite solid. Yeah, and yeah, okay, you know, that was this 2021, 2022 development. A lot of companies, especially newer ones, experienced this kind of raise and increasement of the prices. Yeah. Let's take a look how what kind of valuation we're talking about. Enterprise value is 5 billion. You saw it already on my slide compared to let's say an expected or an actual revenue. That's now US dollars of 2.3 billion. So that's roughly 1 to 2 EV sales, 1 to 2, 1.8 when you make a blend out of this and consider it. However, so it's up to you what you think about this. I'm quite happy about it. And then you can see here the profitability. Let's take a look at the gap. And here as well, positive results on the gap perspective. Yeah, quarterly. So everything good, everything fine right now. So, but why guys? Why was it a negative experience for me if everything looks so great? And here you can see it. I mean, if you already checked out my video of one and a half months ago of my earnings roundup of the last earnings season, you know the slide already. So they missed revenue. Profit development was incredible. Revenue was bad, really bad in my opinion. The outlook was solid. I mean, on the end, they have an outlook. They stated an outlook already a few months ago for 2024 and for 2027, and they didn't change it. Yeah, for me, so it's neutral. Nothing surprisingly. So yellow color. Acquisition of SMB. Micro, small, and medium businesses, neutral, was fine. I later get a little bit more into the details. Rollout of the financial service, so this transformation into a bank, or let's say providing this bank business, is going well so far. But really the integration of the software, yeah. So this links business, yeah. This links business we talked about a few moments ago. Here, this one, that's really not developing great. I mean. Let's go back to the slide, and I stated it there. I mean, I think they achieved something like, I need to check it out, but I think it was 70 million US dollars quarterly revenue. And they are active. I mean, they have 50% market share they have in 16 countries in Latin America, and they achieving 70 million US dollars revenue, and it's decreasing, as you can see here, Q on Q. So Q3 to Q4 2023 decreased by 6.4%. Wait, I use my cursor to show mark this a little bit. Okay, yeah, that looks good. And compare it to 1 year ago, for instance, here Q3 to Q4 2022, it increased actually. Even this was not a strong result, yeah, but at least they kept it stable or it increased slightly, yeah. In this scenario, really, they lost traction. And EBITDA growth even looks worse, yeah? So quarter on quarter, the adjusted EBITDA, what they achieved, decreased by roughly 12%, let's say it like this. And 1 year ago, it increased quarter by quarter by 11%. Yeah, so definitely something what I don't want to see. And I mean, they stated, yeah, okay, please, you need to consider that there was one-time restructuring costs. And honestly, this result here, yeah, 11.6 compared to 11.3 plus, this is, I already excluded, I deducted this restructuring costs. Yeah, so really, with this restructuring cost, the result would even be, or the gap between both years would be even worse. Yeah, so this is what I really don't like, because honestly, I originally purchased as well STONECO stock because of this combination of point of sales terminals. I like this business somehow. I don't know why, but I like it. Yeah, maybe I was a pizza delivery boy in the past. I mean, I was. Yeah, it was not my former life. I was when I was at college, and I liked it somehow. You know, I like this job very much. Actually, I still, my eyes, and I start to shine, and I start to smile when I think about these days. Just only on the fact that I was younger, simple as that. However, yeah, I like this business, but I like the combination with links. I like the combination with the software part, and this is not working out. So I really want to see somehow they achieve a shift. Then, what is a little bit unfortunate as well, they really pushed 2 times in a row positive results, and last earnings results Q4 2023, you can see was red. Yeah, so that's as well a little bit eliminating the trust. I stated it neutral, but it's not that bad. It happens, yeah, but for me actually a little bit negative. And then we have what was positive. And this is very, very solid. I mean, in general, the client base, and that's a very important aspect, grew very strongly, 37% year on year in terms of the payment clients, micro, small, medium businesses. And keep in mind, it's always companies. It's not private persons. Yeah, so it's different when you have a company, even if it's small ones, even if they have a monthly turnover of $5,000, it's still a business. Yeah, it's still a business. Yeah, Then and as well the banking. I mean, I'm parked this time a little bit. Unfortunately, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Cars are a lot around me, and I don't like this. Next time I need to go back into the woods, even though sometimes it's a little bit scary. Yeah, but guys, I have you. Yeah, I'm in my spaceship here, like some other colleague here at the chat mentioned last time, and I'm secured. However, yeah. So okay, let's go on. So the client base improvement and development is great, and what I even appreciated more is the cash generation, because again, it's about profit. It's about, in these days where the interest rates are high, it's important to generate cash. You can even invest it into some fixed income stuff, and you get your interest rate as a company of whatever 2, 3, 4%. Yeah, so it's definitely not that negative, and it's always better to be financially independent and stable, and they are. I mean, you can see they improved their balance by roughly $100 million just quarter on quarter, Q3 to Q4 2023, and overall the year, when we exclude the share buybacks because they're buying back shares currently, almost $380 million. So that's nice. Guys, I need to take a sip. However, look, maybe some of you would say it's neutral or whatsoever. For me, because of the software part, because my investment thesis is straight negative. This is how I think about this kind of stuff in these cases. Let's check out. So guys, I would say we go on with some further information, how in reality, or theoretically in reality, this combination of the solutions work. And I keep it very simple because it's already 1 past 4 Eastern time. Let's check out if it's okay. After all, 0.9% doesn't look too crazy. I guess the results are not live yet, so let's go on quickly. So as you can see here, here's the store manager, whoever this person is symbolizing. And then you see this combination again out of payments, banking, and software. So even they stating no banking before software, because very likely banking has so much potential and going crazy good in hands with the payment business, and software somehow not. So you can see here payments provider, inventory control, ERP, internet banking. Look how it looks in reality. So you have your Stone and Links combination. You're here a printer and a card reader and display of this point of sale solution. Then customer want to purchase something. You as a store manager select the product you want to sell. You enter some extra client info if required for the payment, for instance. Then your credit card, debit card, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whatsoever gets utilized. Customers, oh, will this work? It's a little bit confused. So much modern STONECO stuff. And then, ding ding, it's working. Receipt gets released by the POS. And then the data gets transferred to Links, to the ERP solution basically. And there you get different information about it. You see your inventory management, so even the stock, the storage can get managed by this. And payment schedule, whatsoever. You can set up different stuff, and of course you can add information to the customer and have your history of it and whatsoever. And that's basically how it works, yeah? So, I mean, sounds for me, my perspective, simple. The payment and the banking and the POS part works great. The software part, this Links part, which I think is somehow very interesting actually, somehow is not working well. However, that's the case. Let's talk quickly about the competition. Oh wait, let me check quickly. One moment, is someone watching still? That's maybe as well some interesting aspect for me, just to know if I change something in the style of promoting. Oh yeah, 10 active viewers. Thank you very much, guys, to all of you. That gives me, you feel it already, some new energy. And I would say let's go on. And because we hit the mark of 10 active viewers, I want to show you competition, because of course there's some competition as well existing, and the strongest one is basically PAGSEGURO. Yeah, it's called here PagBank, but it's actually PAGSEGURO. It's as well a publicly traded company out of Brazil. Quite similar. You can see it here. I mean, again, cannot speak Portuguese language, but they have their banking part and the point of sales part, and then you can take a look. And guys, here, quite similar solutions, take rates and whatever, buy now, pay later options and debit, credit versions. And why they have it? Because you need to know that STONECO has not a banking license yet, as far as I know, not a full banking license. Yeah, license. That's not the background of STONECO, and that's fine for me. That's not the reason why I purchased it. Instead, they have the software part, a lot of ERP part and this kind of stuff, Links again, and some other further solutions. Compared this to PAGSEGURO, they actually are a bank. Yeah, so they really have a bank license. That is more or less their background as well. So, I mean, selecting if you want to invest in STONECO when you like the point of sales terminal business, when that's the appetizing and appealing you most. I mean, investing into STONECO or Stonia, I think is how they call it in Brazil, or in PAGSEGURO, it really depends on you what you prefer. I mean, look guys, when you take a look at PAGSEGURO, it's as well, it's developing quite closely to STONECO. It's crazy actually. It's crazy. In terms of turnover, it's developing quite good, not that strongly, but it's developing in the right direction. It is, let me check this out, I think it's profitable. Yeah, you can see it here, it's profitable. So, I mean, when you consider, if you're not investing in STONECO, to invest in STONECO, make sure that you check out PAGSEGURO as well. It's as well an attractive company. It's comparatively even cheaper, I think way cheaper than STONECO actually. because banking business, if you are more about banking than, let's say more about the banking business than about the fintech business, it's always, you are always a little bit valuated cheaper. Yeah, it's normal, it's regular, and actually I don't know what's the reason for this. Yeah, maybe some of you in the chat can explain this to me, or I need to do further research in the future. These are actually the earnings results of PAGSEGURO. But what I can tell is that after the last call, you can see it here at Seeking Alpha website, which I can strongly recommend. A lot of useful information over here and opinions from other investors. Really like it, helps me a lot. After this latest earnings release, yeah, Q4 2023, really people start to doubting, yeah, like this guy here, Michael Wiggins de Oliveira. I think when I read it, he stated something like, "Oh, it was a mistake. I evaluated in the wrong direction. Now I figured it out. It's a bank, and I should rate it as a bank, and therefore I should evaluate it lower or cheaper. You know, let's say it like this, or not. When it's too high valuated." That was his opinion, if I remember correctly. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And you see here, this guy here, for instance, JR Research, or this company, he's countering it a little bit. Yeah, let's say, don't overthink, it's a fintech growth stock. Yeah, he wants to make sure it's not a bank, it's a fintech. Yeah, so bank generally valuated less good compared to fintech. Not 100% reasonable always for me, guys. Look, I'm not a professional one. Maybe you can explain it to me. However, that's just the case. And I did some brainstorming about this. What is my positioning in this regard? And as you can see, I'm not 100% about STONECO. I mean, I like this company very, very much because of different reasons. And I would love to keep it for months and months. And I even would invest more money in it, as I mentioned, tomorrow morning, Central European time. But the truth is, not everything is good. Not everything is bright. And so I was thinking, what is my rating about? Do I see it as a bank, more or less, or an upcoming bank, or a fintech? And look, I compared it to SoFi. I mean, SoFi, wait, I check a little bit here. Change the ratio. Looks better for you guys. So I was actually invested in SoFi 1.5 years ago or something like this, 2 years ago. And really, afterwards, I reduced and sold a lot of stocks of my portfolio, or invested more heavy in the ones which have been left, like STONECO. And I was thinking about, should I invest in Nubank, another Brazilian bank? Tomorrow will be earnings release, STONECO, or SoFi, how I should select. And really, I decided against US, against SoFi, against this, for me, quite clear digital bank. For me, that is, I would state it as a digital bank. Maybe you're different, yeah. And I decided to go for the Latin American market, the potential, go for Nubank, go for STONECO, yeah, go for the solutions. And so why I think SoFi is a bank, so basically, keep it simple. Look, guys, when I take a look at this, SoFi, the reputation, the customer base, they would always think, oh, the results come out, colleague is telling. Let's check first. Oh, wait, I'm not checking it. I quickly change. Oh, wait, I already see some red stuff. That doesn't look good. However, I will go on. I already go on. And I already prepare my wallet to reinvest money if it's not that worse. But you can see already it's 6.25%. Yeah, looks like the results are out. But let's see. Yeah, so I will stick to my schedule. I don't need too much time anymore. I think 5 to 10 minutes. Then I will take a focus on the results, actually, guys. And I think it's worth it. So, however, come back to it. So SoFi for me is clear a bank. If you would ask a customer, a lot of them would just think, okay, SoFi is a bank. It's clear as that. The brand is popular for banking, and the major business, the major income revenue source is banking. Yeah? I mean, they have something like Galileo, which is software for other banks they provide, some infrastructure, I think, for other banks if they want to digitalize or something like this it is. But however, that's really a side hustle. It's not growing very strongly in this kind of stuff. Yeah. So for me, SoFi is a bank. But when we take a look at STONECO, you go on STONECO website here, that's the Brazilian one, the original one, you immediately see, okay, the counter, yeah, you see the counter, you see soluções, and you see here different other solutions which are not related to banking, more or less, yeah. So they really take a focus with a lot of awareness on those solutions and not on the banking. And then of course they have still links, which, okay, it's not that strong. I think it's 15% of the revenue, and 85% is the traditional payment and banking business. However, that's as well a brand which has a lot of reputation and brand awareness in the market, yeah. So for me it's quite clear that this is a fintech. Yeah, so for me, STONECO is a fintech, SoFi is a bank, even though they have roots in, so SoFi has roots in the fintech business, and STONECO has roots in the banking business, or is already involved. I think if you really would somehow extract it to one core business, I would say this is more payment and this is more banking. Yeah, so that is my opinion. Guys, before we jump in, and again, Hossein already stated that the results are out, I want to add some more information just quickly. That's the Selic interest rate, so the rate of the Brazilian central bank, like the Fed in the US or the European Central Bank in Europe. And as you can see, even though the Fed keeps their interest rate stable, and the European Bank, I think so far as well, if I'm not mistaken, the European Central Bank, they already dropped it. I mean, it's very, very high. You see, it was at the peak here, almost 14%. But now, really, at every point of decision, they dropped it by roughly 5%, more or less. And now it's 10.5%. So that's definitely some tailwind out of the local market in terms of the rate, yeah, the rate and the how you call it, the reduction of the money or the management of the amount of money over there. And then what I want to share as well, and not leave you out of it, is the Moody's rating. Yeah, Moody's, I mean, is one of the, I think, 3 big rating agencies which are global active. And they just lately, what was it? Here's the date. Okay, so you can see 11 days ago, they give approved Brazil a credit rating. Yeah, because just overall the economy is developing in the right direction and everything. Yeah, so even though it doesn't have the best rating, yeah, you see here BA2, yeah. Even though it's not AA, or how it is called, the best one, very likely, AA1, maybe. Depends always on the rating agency, of course, but I think here maybe it's AA1. However, even though that's not the case, and it doesn't have to be the case, it's not that bad, and actually the overall economy is developing fine. Yeah, that's great to hear. And so even though political risks are existing in Brazil, I think the development, the overall direction the market is heading, and STONECO, who's involved and working in the market, is a good one, is a positive one. We have different news. I will not talk too much about this today because we really don't have enough time, but they have a repurchase program which they actually updated and increased to roughly $200 million US. They had board changes because actually, I think after the last earnings call, the founder, as you can see, Mr. Andrew Street. There he is. Quarter results are negative. Okay, man. I'm already mentally prepared. Okay, Hims and Hers was so great last week. You can't always win. Yeah. It's part of the business, and it just depends what we will see in the numbers or what you see in the numbers, and if you stay convinced or not. However, so even the founder left the board and the board. Then they received some kind of banking license, but I think it's not the full one. Then you can see, or I already mentioned it, that Berkshire left it and sold the position here. Brazilian credit card processor. It's actually not only a credit card processor. However, they sold the full position. Warren Buffett, Oracle, or maybe knew something what we don't know. Here you can see the midterm results, 2024, 2027, very, very strong developments in terms of deposits, especially in terms of credit portfolio. Take rate, so this payment point of sales take rate increased. Everything very solid. Why? Basically, while the expenses are not growing that strongly. Yeah. So, and they sticked, even though they missed the revenue last quarter, they stick to this 2024 and 2027 guidance. And for me, it would be very important actually that they keep and they still stick to this guidance and they're not adjusting it now. Yeah? But we need to consider something on the short term, and this is something like this, for instance. Very, very. Hi Muhammad Umar Mustafa, nice to have you in again. Much love back. I hope everyone is good, and I hope you too, colleague. But going back to reality, to serious topics. So as you can see here, it's not about war, at least luckily, even though you see here a weapon, because I guess if this kind of, or in general in countries when this kind of stuff is going on, now you can see it already here, robberies, there's always some crime going on, and people are unfortunately using these moments to steal some stuff and do some other illegal stuff, whatever it is. However, you can see that actually some flood is going on. Yeah, so weather conditions are back, a lot of rain in a short period of time in a certain area of Brazil. A lot of people get killed, and even though, I mean, and you can see it here, we're talking about the mid-eastern part of Brazil. Even though, I mean, life is always more important than the lives of humans, but of course today we talk about investing, yeah, and we need to ignore this right now. It's just about the case that this will not have an effect on Q1, on this results, but maybe it will have an effect on Q2 results, yeah. This is something what we should keep in mind. I mean, for me, I'm not sure what will be the result of this flood. I didn't check for hours the news. I mean, I just figured out, okay, flood is going on, and unfortunately the citizens and the residentials over there are affected by this, and their life is affected, and even some are losing lives. But on the other hand, or as well, minor problem, but as well something for investors, which is affecting the results maybe of the companies over there, might be an effect as well, or have an effect as well on the business of STONECO. Yeah, something what we need to keep in mind, and maybe even only because of this aspect, the results get adjusted. And now, before we jump into the results, take a quick sip, and you can take a look on this Excel sheet. And then we really start with the results. Yeah, a little bit late. However, I have enough power. The notebook is charged. The hotspot of my or the smartphone which I use to provide the hotspot is charged. Everything is charged over here. I'm even charging my car currently. Because I'm an EV charger here, standing in front of an EV charger, so everything is prepared in the right direction. So if it takes a little bit longer, I'm sorry. I hope you have enough power and you're charged as well, even though the results might be not the best. However, this is what you can see here are the numbers of the past quarters, earnings results, and what I expect. I mean, I'm using this for every stream I'm providing, and so. The light blue is forecast, and EPS, earnings per share, and revenue, yeah, actual one. So what I would like to see, I mean, forecast is 144. What I would love to see today is an EPS, earnings per share, of 177. What is the result? Where it comes it from when the forecast is just 144? So basically, I just orientated on the former result of 1.76 Brazilian real. 1.76 Brazilian real, and I added 1 cent Brazilian real to it. Man, I think I should check what is the cent or the penny of Brazilian real. That's however, I think you know what I'm talking about. So the forecast of last quarter was 143, and this time is 144. So 1 cent more, and so I expect, or I want to see that at least the earnings per share result is increased by 1 cent. Yeah, compared from quarter to quarter. Difficult one. You can see it's still a huge beat. However, that is what I would like to see, at least in the medium, in the base case. And when we talk about the revenue development, here the forecast is officially 3.1 billion Brazilian real, and I would love to see a 3.14 billion real. So not a huge beat. It's just a beat by 40 million Brazilian real, and I want to see the same absolute difference here. Like 1 year ago, it was as well for 40 million Brazilian real compared forecast to the actual revenue. So again, one more time, base case. So this is definitely something, or base case till best case, 1.77 earnings per share. And revenue is 3.14 billion. Yeah. And today I really want to see that the revenue comes back, honestly. Last quarter was for me the profit was way more important, but today it's more about the revenue for me, actually. Or it's a little bit more important, the revenue, compared to the profit and compared to the last quarters. Okay, there we go. Here are the results. Wait, I need to share my screen. So, checking one more time before we jump in. Okay, it's 7%. I mean, it looks before. I mean, really, I didn't check that. Yeah, I mean, for me, that's the reason why I called this stream win at in any case. So really, I mean, for me that could be as well a win, because it doesn't look like a huge miss in my opinion, for sure not. And so roughly minus 7%. And I could imagine that without checking out the actual results, even on a superficial scale, I could imagine that it's really not a strong miss. I mean, Hossein, honestly, you mentioned that quarter over quarter the results are negative. Let's see, but doesn't seem like a big miss, yeah? Or at least something else is very good, even though if they miss somewhere strongly. Looks like a chance really to add some shares, yeah? Of course, I need to do some more brainstorming after the call, after the stream, check out the transcript of the actual call, but it looks quite solid for me. And depending on how it develops till tomorrow, I will invest. Okay, however, so one more time, 3.14 billion Brazilian real, and earnings per share, but this is what we check out later, of 1.77 Brazilian real. Okay, let's check out what is going on here. Adjusted EBITDA reaching, okay, 24%, net income year over year. Okay, they're really ignoring completely the revenue. I mean, already when we just check out the headline, which is a little bit, well, wait, I increase a little bit the zoom factor. Does it still look good for you? Yeah, okay, that looks good, I think. Maybe a little bit smaller, otherwise it could be difficult to join. Okay, I think that's okay for you guys. When you already checked the headline, I mean, just from my perspective, I don't see anything about revenue, so I expect revenues already not that great, yeah. And yeah, you can see it already here, yeah. So it's below expectations, below forecast, guidance, however you want to call it. I mean, 3.1 was the outlook, and now it's 3.08. It's definitely a miss, even though it's a slight miss. So I can imagine that, that's might be already it. That might be already it. I'm really curious figuring out if it's about the software part, or is it about the the core part, the core business, the payment business, the banking business, but I expect actually it's the software. Yeah, okay, I mean revenue was not so much before. However, I guess definitely a part of it, of this bad development, is the software part. Yeah, that is my guess actually. Okay, so revenue is already not looking that great. Guys, I'm adding this quickly into the table. Oh wait, I do this later with you guys. I do this later and just make a side note here. 3085. Okay, got it. Okay, we go on. And I have different metrics which I prepared. And here's already the outlook. And let's check out. I mean, we can quickly, because we have it still open, the window somewhere. Here it is. Oh. Is it working like this? Okay, yeah, perfect. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. On the Muhammad, I check later on this comment. It looks a little bit more comprehensive. However, let's check out and the guidance, and let's check if they adjust it somehow. And look here, I mean, comparing just quickly let's say the 2024. I mean, that's most important right now, and very likely would get adjusted first or lowered if they would tell they're missing it. Oh, okay, and they already mentioned it. Performance was on track to deliver our guidance, yeah. So, okay, we don't need to check and compare now all the results, because, yeah, they will be in line and on the same level. So, okay, that is great to hear. That is great to hear, guys, because, I mean, even though they're facing some trouble right now, I think it's not that expensive, the stock. I like the business again. And I really like the outlook. It has a lot of potential, in my opinion, if it really get realized in the future. And I can imagine that even the outlook is a little bit sandbagged, yeah. And still, even though they're missing their high revenue targets, it's still, everything is on track, and that's great to hear. That's great to hear. So we can tick this box. Whew. Guys, and I would say right now, let me check one thing. So I would like to see if already some first comments of the market are out there. So far, no comments yet. We could enter the first one. But what is interesting, so we already talked about it. I mean, it's still 14% year on year when we talk about the company, which has a PE of 9. Yeah, not that bad. However, it's not impressive as well. And now we have here as well the EPS, non-GAAP EPS, and it's 1.42. And now we can add it, yeah? We can add it. I already added here. Let me check out quickly. So here we go. Here we have the Excel sheet. And you can see I expected 3.14. I wanted to see. Didn't saw it at all. Instead, it was 308. So 3 billion, 80 million real, Brazilian real. And here we had 1.42. So I mean, they missed both. My expectations by far, especially on the EPS side, especially compared to the last quarter. So, I mean, year on year, don't get me wrong, it's still roughly 95%, yeah? As you can see here. Not that bad. And here, again, one more time, year on year, 13.7%, yeah, not that bad. But however, they missed the forecast, and that is something what you don't want to see. I'm actually surprised that with this double miss, they just decreased by 6%. I mean, not even anymore 6%. The market is taking it heavily. So really, okay, Hussein, that sounds interesting. We will check out the details in a moment. So here you can see the development of the price, and you see here now as well double miss, top and bottom line. So top line revenue, bottom line profit. Whew, I need some stronger stuff right now. Nah, it's not. I mean, I'm invested with 10,000 US dollars. It's not a low number, but again, I see it as a chance for sure. Let's see. Let's go into the details right now. And to go through the details of the results. I'm very likely sharing your opinion, Lone Mover Man. So that's exactly what I think about. I mean, in a moment, the next 15 minutes, we will talk about the details, really. Software development, banking development, micro MSMB, client-based development, and afterwards I have a better picture. I prefer you if you did something like that. I really think it could use your channel exponentially. Could do weekly submission. Oh, Mohammed, I already see. I should hire you as my manager of my YouTube channel. I checked the comments a little bit more in detail later on, but first I'm really interested and curious figuring out what is going on with the details. So guys, here you have my PowerPoint sheet. Same what I use more or less for all the calls, and simple as that. I mean, we make it red. Both top and bottom line, revenue and EPS development bad. And on the other hand, outlook, I give it one more time yellow because, wait, we need to do it here. That's the right one. Sorry guys. Make it simple. We copy it. Here and here we go. We go now through the different parametrics of this call. So that's the first look, first glance, and guys, doesn't look good. Really doesn't look good in my perspective. Now we take a look at the short-term metrics and aspects. I mean, mid-term, long-term, you can read them by yourself. It's not that interesting for today. It's something, again, which is more on the longer period of time where you take a look at, but not right now. Today we really focus those numbers and have different KPIs in mind which we go through to make sure, or that I make sure, that to evaluate the results here and the different parameters in the right direction, quite accurately. So first aspect on the short term is the acquisition of the micro, small, medium business market and the positive impact on the total payment volume and value and on the profit. So here I have different KPIs, and the first KPI I want to cover is, let's check this out. Okay. It's the MSMB active payment client base. And here we want to see it's close to Q4 2023, to last quarter. Most stuff is compared to the last quarter. So active payment client base. We go back to the browser. We take a look at the actual results sheet. We are already here, active payment client base, as you can see. And we take a look at MSMB. You need to know that key accounts primarily resulting out, it's the larger accounts, the larger customers. They're resulting primarily out of the software business, of the links business. And if that's decreased or getting decreased, it's not a big surprise for me, honestly, guys. Because again, links business, software business is not going well. However, MSMB, we can see here, quarter over quarter. And, that looks, from my perspective, already good. Let me check this out. Was it really close to year on year? Okay. Wait, I need to... Here it's the earnings results of the last quarter of 2023. And we go through it, and it's a little bit smaller, I think, so I zoom a little bit in. Here we go, guys. Hope you can read it at least a little bit. And so last year, the development... last quarter. Let me check this out quickly, guys. Okay, so last quarter, year on year, the development was, I can't even read it, so I think I need to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, now I got it. Year on year development was 30.6%. 30.6%, as you can see here. 30.7%. 30.7%, sorry guys. And now we go back and check this out. And it's year on year 32% and 33%. So 37 to 33. That's okay for me. That's okay. That's yellow. That's neutral. I mean, if it would still be something like 36, 37, so more or less the same same year-on-year performance of last quarter, I would say, oh, that's green. And this is okay. That's okay. It's fine that it's getting lower and lower, and 33% based on this client numbers is definitely solid. Yeah, that's fine for me. So the next KPI we check out is the total payment volume or value, and here as well, year on year close to it. So we go to the where I can find it. Take rate. Here. Guys, I need to be here. I guess I have it. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so we can see right now it's 28% year on year, 24% year on year, and let's see what was last year the case. And here, look, they adjusted it a little bit. That's the reason why it was confusing me a little bit. And here it is. Okay, luckily I found it, at least something. So it was last quarter. Okay, that's something very good. I mean, it's increasing, yeah, the payment volume, the growth. So last quarter, year on year, it was 21%. Now it's 24%. That's green. That's green. That's very strong. So it's increasing. I mean, okay. Oh, wait. We should exclude the PIX, and then it's only 18% roughly. PIX is not. I think it's a national approach or way how to for payments. Yeah, payment service, and somehow it's get provided, I think, as well through STONECO or through other players, what they can provide at their counters to pay with PIX. And here they're excluding it, and when they exclude it, it's just 18.5%. And now compared one more time to 1 year to 1 quarter ago, year on year, it's 20.1. Not that bad, 2% more or less. However, I would state it as neutral as well. Neutral, not negative, neutral. So client payment base is developing okay, neutral. The TPV is okay, neutral. And now we have 2 more. And now we're taking care of the take rate, which is basically the transaction rate again. So for every dollar, they have a certain take rate which run through their point of sales terminals. And here, I would love to see actually that the take rates gets higher compared to Q4. Yeah, no year-on-year development. That's not interesting for me. So it should be higher. So let's take a look at the take rate as MSMB again. This quarter is 2.54. Last quarter is 2.43. Okay, that's green. That's green. Let's take a look here just to make sure it's correctly what they're stating here. 2.43. Yeah, 2.43. Okay, that's good. That's green. That's green. So, I mean, 2 times neutral, 1 time green, positive. I would say overall, when we take a look at the... we have one more. I mean, now I'm a little bit more in the neutral way, but we have the fourth parameter we check, and this will now make the difference, maybe. Push it more to the neutral one, or maybe even in the positive, in the green field. And that's the financial service adjusted EBITDA, and I want to see a close close to the last quarter year-on-year development. So financial services adjusted EBITDA, we need to go up. Can you still see my screen? Yeah, looks good. And oh, wait. Then it's somewhere. Financial. One moment. Where is it? Uh-oh. Okay, so it crashed a little bit. I need to go back. Okay, then I should be here, I think. Financial adjusted EBITDA. Where are you, colleague? Just need a quick moment, guys. That is that what I don't like to see. No, really I need the financial focus. I mean, is it really me or am I missing something? Okay, here we go. So here it is. Okay, and here's this. I finally found it, guys. Woo! Okay, year-on-year development. Here we go, was 19.4% this quarter. And last quarter it was, here we go, 43.3 compared to, oh, is it correctly? Oh, that's not that nice. That's more like negative and red, honestly. I mean, of course, it can always be the case that year on year, the quarter 1 year ago was very weak or very strong or something like this. However, we need to be fair here, and it's somehow a superficial, zoomed out perspective. Yeah, I can't see it right now in the details, but when I just compare this, and if I'm not mistaking something, that's definitely not that great, and that's definitely negative. So when we take a look and come back to the overall development of the acquisition of the MSMB market, we have 2 times neutral, 1 time green, 1 time red. I would state it yellow, but even because it looks so bad, actually, the development of the adjusted EBITDA of the financial service, maybe there is somewhere a small note that they changed how they calculate it or something like this. But just based on these results, I would even go a little bit more into the right direction. However, I keep it neutral. Let's go on to the second of 3 aspects we check out, and now the rollout demand of financial services. So going back, and herefore we check first the active banking client base. Yeah, and you want to see as well here a close to last quarter year-on-year development. So let's go back, and here's the browser. And guys, again, I see you are very active in the chat, and I very likely, I'm for sure check out later all the comments and try to reply, no matter if I can cover it very accurately or not, but I will check it, read it. But now I just want to quickly do this job here and focus it. So we need to go back. And so a lot of information they're stating. That's great. I mean, I like this, even though it's sometimes a little bit confusing. So active banking client base, MSMB, as we can see here. And this year, this quarter, it's growing by roughly 90%. Oh, wait. Now you can see it, 90%. So that's very strong in my opinion already. But of course, the standard is very high, so would not surprise me if it's difficult to keep this momentum, this level. So we go back, here we are, and yeah, you see it right now. It's 200%, more than 200% before. Not sure if I'm missing something, but really, I mean, 90%, yeah, of course. I mean, you can't grow for more, or it's difficult for a company to grow for 2 quarters in a row for 200% in some business, especially when it's really growing larger and larger, and it's really adding some meat to the bone, as you can see here, of the last quarter and now of the current quarter. And 90% is still strong, don't get me wrong, but I would love to see more, something like, just from my, it's gut, yeah, it's nothing rational, it's my personal feeling, yeah, just some subjective feeling about it, but I would love to see something in the 3-digit space, something like 130, 140%, and not 90%. Simple my opinion, yeah. So that is what I state negative, yeah. The client-based development in terms of the banking, negative red for me, yeah. You see my voice gets lower. I'm almost here, starting to cry. I'm always ready. I have here always ready for every call, whatever happens. Sometimes tears of joy and satisfaction, and sometimes tears of really sadness. Today it's a little bit more about sadness, but no, just joking. It's absolutely fine. Okay, and the second KPI we take a look. So first one is negative when we talk about active banking clients, and now we check out the client MSMB client deposits. Guys, let me check out if you can still see my screen. And active the deposits are here. Is this correctly? I just want to check out if it's not. Yep. Looks good. Okay, so last quarter, what we want to see, I think it's the same like last quarter, year on year, right? Yup. So as well, we would love to see, I mean, last year it was year on year 52%, and we would love to see something close to it. Let's say, look here, something like between 45 and 52% would be for me yellow, would be for me neutral. Yeah, everything below would be bad. Everything very close to 52% would be great. And everything above, it's simply amazing. However, so 52%, it was last year. And oh, look, this one is 53%, so even a little bit higher. Oh, now you can see it, I think. I need to always take care of the vision of my setup over here. So here increased slightly, quarter on quarter. Let's check this out as well, so you can take a look. There you go, guys. So that's definitely some positive, some greenish stuff. So I mean, the client base development negative, however, the client deposits positive. So I think we take the mid and color this neutral, yeah, or I would rate this neutral, guys. So there we go. No time yet for crying too much. It's okay. I mean, even at the end, it doesn't look so bad. Yeah, but again, compared to the Hims and Hers results, definitely another word. But however, I figured out by myself by investing in Perion and lost a lot of money a few weeks ago, that even though I'm really a risk-orientated person and I'm not personally for myself, a big fan of the diversification, so spreading the money, the investments in different cups. In this regard, I figured out by this Perion loss, okay, even I need some diversification, and even though I think not every company is performing that well, like Hims, or is that cheap, all the companies have their potential, yeah, really, the attraction to me, and so yeah. Even though this results still now doesn't look so good. It's absolutely fine. It's not like, oh, I need to leave the building right now and take out all my money. That's definitely not the case. So let's go on and go on into the last parameter we checked today together, and that's integration and margin increasement of the software division and advertisement services. So as advertisement services, software division, I mean, Links is doing as well business with advertising basically, and there's some potential existing. However, in the end, it's more like the Links software core business, ERP business, yeah, what we're talking about. So let's say SaaS business, software as a service business, this kind of stuff, yeah. Okay, and to check out those numbers, we will take a look at 2 KPIs. And here we start with the software revenues, very simple one, guys. And so, I mean, all of you very likely already know what is going on. I personally don't know it yet. So let's go and check out what is going on with the, okay, I'm driving into the wrong direction. What I would like to see here is software growth year on year, more or less similar to the past quarter. So again, very similar to the approach what I did before. Man, am I riding into the right direction? I don't think so. Okay, here we go. Man, I really think they adjusted a little bit the structure of the reports. Okay, so we have here the software. I hope you can see it. Let me check this out. Yep. Okay. And so this quarter, it looks quite more or less the same, I think. Yeah, so yeah, I mean quarter on quarter 1.6% and year on year 3%. That's not that bad. Somehow they stopped the rage which was going on in the software business, I guess. So take a look here, and here is a little bit, it's both the other results. So here we are. Software Q on Q, it was negative last quarter, and year on year it was 5%. So it's close to me. Yeah, I would love to see that software business is growing. Yeah, until now the shift didn't took place. Yeah, so I mean 3%, one more time, compare it. 3% year on year to 5% year on year last quarter. It's still a negative development. However, the dropping was stopped. Yeah, last quarter on quarter 6.4. This time it's 1.6 up. And I could imagine, I mean really, one more time, software, I purchased it. For me, a big part, big reason for it was really the software part, the Links business. And I think people right now are not considering it at all. I mean, I think they rate it as a negative aspect as well, honestly, because it's developing just not how you would expect it as an investor, and or they don't rate it and evaluate it at all and consider it in their let's say fair value valuation and stock valuation. I think, but you can see it still as a chance. I mean, guys, I don't want to make any jokes. It's serious, yeah. At the end, you can see it as a chance, the software business, since quarters. Yeah, so even 1 year ago, I was thinking, okay, and now the rocket is fueled. Now it will start and take off and hit it to the moon or whatsoever. Not that like this, but however, I think you know, you can relate to my statement. Yeah, but still things doesn't have changed, and who knows? Maybe now a little bit. I mean, the payment and the banking business getting closer and closer to the peak. What I don't think actually. It's still growing amazingly, 90% and this kind of stuff. It's not low numbers. It's strong. Yeah, just compared to last quarter, maybe it's not that strong anymore, but it is strong in my perspective, from my perspective. But really, so that's the growth decreases a little bit, and the curve gets a little bit less sharp. Yeah, and on the other hand, maybe that I tried to really draw it to you. It's not a good idea. I need to use paint maybe. but really the curve of the software gets reactivated. Maybe the synergies finally start. Maybe that is now the moment. Yeah, I mean, we should always be rational, and I think I try to always be a little bit more pessimistic, a little bit more negative than optimistic. However, I can imagine that now it's getting better. I hope. I would really be disappointed, honestly, guys, if that is not the start of a nice fairy tale story. Yeah, and I'd like to see that really it's growing quarter on quarter. I like that it's growing still year on year, and I hope that both numbers are more positive, finally more positive in the next quarter, because I really like this business. And guys, actually I had with my job, with my other hours I spent in my life, I had some business, or the company I was working for, we wanted to enter the Brazilian market, and I was active a little bit, and I was in touch with links in this regard. And for me, I really had a very positive impression by these guys and by the business itself. I mean, that was the reason why I figured out about the stock, or one of the reasons actually. And so I was impressed, and I'm still a little bit confused why this. I mean, they have such a huge and strong position in the market, as far as I know. Really, when you do research over there, and you have your public retail pharmacy, and you need an ERP software when you start a new store, for instance, where all the software is running on. I mean, you really stumble across the name Links, more or less, or when you are in the petrol station game or whatsoever. It's quite popular. So, and it's nice business. It has great synergies and this kind of stuff. So, still wondering what is going on. Maybe still in the process of acquisition of Links, something didn't went well, I can imagine. However, maybe now it's improving and it's getting back to normal, and then improving even upwards. Yeah? Let's see. So, however, this for me, it's neutral. It's not positive. It's neutral. I want to stay correct. So I think this development is neutral. And the second KPI in this regard is the adjusted EBITDA, so the result out of this software business. And here we are already. Here, and we want to see as well actually, I make the notes before. I want to see that this number is higher. Yeah, okay, I will stick to it. It's negative. Because now, last quarter it was 5%, as you can see here. And this quarter it's 3%. It's less. I want to see it's up. So it's really coming back on track quicker. So it's negative. I like it that it's stopped somehow, but I need to stick to my thoughts before, even though I think I see a little bit positive sign at the end of the funnel. Right now it's negative. Yeah? And now we take a look at the financial results, the adjusted EBITDA, last KPI for today, and I want to see it's it's up year on year. And let's see, adjusted EBITDA, this current one, software, 120%. Doesn't look bad right now, I think. Doesn't look bad. Okay, that is something positive, I guess, guys. Finally. Can you see it? Finally, I found something positive, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so now 120% year on year. Adjusted EBITDA I want to talk about, so 65%, and still very positive. Yeah, so this one is green for me, no doubt about it. I mean, we can compare it as well. Take a look here. I mean, on the absolute numbers, 66 million Brazilian real. Last quarter it was 59. Yeah, there was this one-time cost whatsoever, but yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's great. That's great. That's great. That's positive. So we have the revenue, which is negative, even though I see some potential, but I stick to my game plan. And we have the adjusted EBITDA, which is positive for me clearly. So I rate this as neutral. Let's go back to our master slide, our master sheet. One more time, neutral. Yeah, so when we cover this, and now we come to the famous verdict of a sense of capital. Do we rate it negative, or do I rate it negative, neutral or positive? Guys, I mean, take a look at it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I would love to see what is the price and what is the market doing. We check out in a minute or in a moment at one of the last processes of today, last chapters of the day of the stream, how the market reacts in terms of the comment section here at the chat of the comment section of Seeking Alpha, and the price, of course, after market price. But I personally, without any effectiveness of this, and okay, I know it was 20 minutes ago, it was minus 6%. So it's obviously not positive. And I expected, really, based on these results, I expected a way stronger negative impact on the stock price. And therefore, I rated negative. Yeah, I think I rated negative. I mean, not everything was bad. There was 2 greenish KPIs, which positively rated by myself. A lot of negative and neutral stuff, but however, I mean, for me, bottom line, top line is definitely which counts most. And of course the outlook. I'm very happy that the outlook remained untouched, and I trust the management over here, even though it's a new management and the founder left the building. However, I'm trusting them. I have no other, I mean, if I'm not trusting them, I should immediately sell all the shares, honestly, from my perspective. But really, when they miss that strongly my revenue expectations, and as well the forecasts, actually, am I right? They missed it, or? Yeah, they missed it. And the EPS, strongly, revenue strongly, EPS more or less strongly, based on my expectations. I can't do it different. Then, guys, here, let's make it happen. Da-dum. Yeah. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you win even when you lose. I hope that I win now, even if I'm losing. I'm so deep in the mud of STONECO. I'm so deep in this material. I mean, there are other experts. Very likely every employee has more knowledge about the stock than I. But I feel, at least, I have a good feeling for this business. And I want to go on and cover the streams right here about the stock. And I'm still convinced. I like the business case. I'm not sure what is the reason. And let's see what will be the overall economy is, I think, developing in the right directions, and as long as interest rates goes down, the political status is stable in the market, I think the business will go on, and everything will grow in the right direction. And you can see here still other potential as existing, like regional expansion, and so still some good stuff is going on. Maybe they purchase with all the money they have. They're not just buying back shares, but maybe they investing it in acquiring new companies. Would be great, would be amazing to strengthen their software business, maybe, or whatsoever. I still think there are a lot of synergies left. So guys, from my perspective, even though I rate it as a negative call, I can't promise anything, and I mean, everything is up to you, but I personally, it's not unlikely that I will invest let's say, 2 till 4,000 US dollars tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's not that unlikely. But that's just my opinion. It's just what I very likely will do. There's no promise. I mean, maybe tomorrow I wake up or later I check out the call and somehow I have a different feeling. I think it's always good to sleep at least one night over some results. In this case, in this regard, it's definitely, I think, beneficial and appropriate to do it. Yeah, anyway, results is negative. But let's check out now the price, what is going on, guys. Then I check out the Seeking Alpha, and then last but not least, I check out what was your feedback here at the chat. So, guys, Seeking Alpha. Here we go. Here are the results one more time. Yeah, guys, looks solid. Comments, no comments yet. Okay. As you can see, is it really like the... Okay, here are some top secret alpha quant sector news. Okay. Wait. I need to select the right one. Okay, here we have the two first market reactions, if I'm not mistaken. What the people are saying. Nice report. Wall Street picks are short. This one. Worth buying dip if you are watching Stone, and I think about it. Yeah, so sharing the opinion. This stock company has so many blow-ups, it's cursed. I mean, drops at 6%, guys. I mean, it's a stock in the market which is economically not the most stable one, or at least not famous for being so stable, and dropping by 6%. Don't know. I mean, if that's hitting you too hard, just my perspective on view on the things, then you really should think about being invested in STONECO or this kind of companies, you know. So don't think it's cursed. I mean, it just need to cover the results, and I as I explained it a few minutes ago, I think they just basically missed revenue, the profit side. They missed some other my expectations in terms of different KPIs. Yeah, different details. Even though software doesn't look that bad, what I'm very happy about, but hey, 6%. Well, let's check out what is now the result. It's not that bad, man. 7%. I mean, really, it's. I mean, in my perspective, psychological aspects, mental aspects are always something very interesting, and I can imagine that 1 year ago. 1.5 years ago, with this result, the stock would get hit way harder. Yeah, maybe even 20% in some periods of time. Yeah, that is now just hit it by just 7.3% in the negative and red. Shows me what I think I'm hopefully I'm seeing the right things, but I think the audience, the investors, they are not that sensitive about it. Yeah, they're still staying convinced. They still, I think, some people's always. I mean, when you sell, someone selling, another person needs to buy it. But as far as I can see it, I think people are buying it actually. Yeah, it's not like one direction. Yeah, it's still people. You see, it's getting up a little bit. It's not like really all are panicking and getting out because here and there some trouble is going on. So I think basically company performed quite well in the past quarters. And yeah, now they missed. It is how it is a little bit. Yeah, it is how it is. Let's see what will be the next quarter. I mean, if they really miss next quarter, and let's say it's latest the quarter after, so Q2, Q3, it's getting more serious for me. But I think it's more likely that I invest tomorrow more money, and then I'm not investing any money, and selling is definitely not an option right now, I think, if I'm not missing anything. And guys, check out my social media, Twitter, X, Reddit, Instagram, or even here I update on YouTube in the documentation section, or how is community section. I always update if I buy or sell something. Yeah, so make sure you follow me, and then tomorrow you will be one of the first who know what is going on. So I always stick to what I'm doing. I mean, I put my money where my mouth is, yeah, and yeah, definitely stick to what I'm telling you guys. Okay, so that's the results right now, and now let's check quickly the comment section. I'm not sure how I do this best, but I think a good approach is that I just go quickly through it, and I hope you are satisfied so far. Maybe I check quickly if still someone is active over here, because really I don't check too often the chat. I just see that sometimes some new stuff comes in, but I never know how many are viewing and if you like it or not. That's difficult for me to evaluate, but I can see I have 13 viewers at the moment, and I have 2 new subscribers. Highly appreciate this. I'm very happy about each of you. I mean, all of you are humans and individuals, and it's just imagine, it's just incredible that you invest time with me together to check out this kind of results. You know, that is, I'm really glad. I'm very pleased about it. However, guys, let's go through the comments. Okay, Muhammad Umar Mustafa asked what's going on about PLL, Piedmont lithium stock, Raken from. Wow, I mean, commodities, lithium, whatever, what kind of stuff, it's really out of my comfort zone, yeah. So I'm very sorry, but I'm really the guy. Look, there are many people out there, in my opinion, who covering a lot of stocks. They're owning a lot of stocks, 20, 40, 80 stocks. It's fine, yeah. I'm more the guy, I want to set the focus on the few companies. I really want to get a feeling for this. I would love to travel to Brazil just to pay one time at the POS terminal of STONECO. I would love to have this experience. Or 2 weeks ago I was in the Netherlands for a business trip, but I combined it and I visit ALFEN. I will guide back the earnings next week, Monday, yeah, a Dutch company for EV solutions, EV chargers, battery storage systems, and substations. I love this kind of stuff. So I want to be very close to the stocks and the companies I'm invested in, and I'm more or less only focused on this 5 actually. Checking a lot of news each day. Actually, it's my hobby, my major hobby. Investing a lot of time in it. Even though there are other hobbies left, luckily. However. And this 5 stocks getting really the most attention from me, even though I know what is Warren Buffett doing. I know that there are some AI stocks, Nvidia, and all this kind of stuff. But really, I don't want to talk about any stuff where I'm not setting a higher focus. And unfortunately, PLL, lithium business in general, is nothing what I have my eyes on. Yeah, so. However, what we got here, software has improved slightly. That's right, yeah, even not that strongly, but I see it same like you, Hossein. So I think it's definitely a positive tendency what you can recognize if you take very closely on it. Pitched a serious idea to Joseph Carlson that Joseph Carlson, I think, is a YouTuber as far as I know. Look, guys, I really outside of my comfort zone. I'm still active, but I would never talk about whatever judge about McDonald's or something like this. I mean, at least not really set the focus on it that highly. As long as I'm not doing research about it. He do a review of his subscribers' portfolios. If you did something like that, you really think it increases the channel exponentially? Yeah, might be a good catch, Mohammed, really. I mean, I need to do some guerrilla marketing, and I'm already commenting a lot of videos out there of different YouTubers, smaller ones, larger ones. But so maybe I will do something like this. Why not? Very likely afterwards, my heart is not beating anymore because I will get erased by this guy because of the feedback of my portfolio, because it's very aggressive. 5 stocks, 5 growth stocks, A lot of them exotic markets, not established. I could imagine that if how is it called, Josef Carlson, if he checks out here, shout out to Josef Carlson. But if he see my portfolio, he maybe can't even relate to the different stocks I'm a shareholder of, but might be a catch. However, I will stick to my look. Still, I want to provide you guys what I would love to see by myself, and I would love to see someone who's not talking about so much stuff. And for me, it's just simply not realistic if you're not a professional one and a skilled one, and you have a lot of time to really cover 40 stocks or 80 stocks. It's difficult. I mean, how you can manage this? And I love that. I always I follow people more closely where I know, okay, they just taking focus on a few stocks where they are really deep into it, even though they're owning more, but about those stocks, they are more deep in it. They're not adding all the comments about Nvidia and British American Tobacco or PayPal because it's just in the media and cheap or whatsoever. And I know people doing this, and that's fine. Everyone has the same approach, his style to represent companies and to whatever, make money with YouTube or this kind of stuff. But for me, most important is that I really stick to my idea, how I would love to see content represented, and what could for me as well as a viewer, if I would switch sides, what I would love to see. And I want to keep the focus, but I keep this in mind, and maybe I will address a small message to Josef. Thank you very much. Yeah, slightly under, that's right. Yeah, actually, top and bottom line miss, revenue and profit. I don't like to see this kind of stuff, really. I'm really strict about it. For me, it's straight negative, really negative. Submissions via YouTube community, then do a once a week live stream or something would be cool. Community submissions. Yeah, it's Mohamed, really, I need to give you a call, man. Really, I hire you as a manager. But very interesting, man. I need to consider this. I need to do brainstorming. It's just a matter of time, guys. Really, I mean, this month I didn't have even the time to cover my investment portfolio update of this month. Yeah, hopefully I can do it next week, but I'm honestly not sure about it because, again, tomorrow's Nubank earnings stream. Really looking forward, very motivated. And Wednesday, a very exotic Southeast Asian Uber copy with financial additional services, Grab, out of Singapore. So let's see. PIX has lower margins. Yeah, you're right, Hossein. That's right. Yeah, so PIX is not like you have the strong take rates and this kind of stuff, and therefore it's included. There are numbers included with the general turnover, and then the turnover without the PIX. Yeah, so, and it's nice. I mean, I really appreciate that STONECO is try to be transparent, at least my feeling, and they're providing like something like 360 pages of investor deck, a lot of information, and even those calls are very, very voluminous, this documentation. Hinoki66, you asked if it's better to sell now and buy back tomorrow. Guys, I need to be careful here because, again, it's no advice, financial advice or consultation. You heard already my opinion. I will stick to it. I'm not this guy who wants to sell quickly and like this. It's not for me about 5% plus or minus. I mean, it's nice for me to, if it's tomorrow cheaper, to get it cheaper. But yeah, really, I mean, it's I'm not the long-term holder, something like this. For me, it's more like 2 or 3 years in best case, or even if it's in a half year and it's a successful half year or a negative one, okay, I buy, I sell, whatsoever. But in this regard, I want to stick to the position ideally, and in STONECO I will keep it, I think, and very likely tomorrow I will purchase more shares. Yeah, and again, social media, you will see if I did it or not. So to myself, that's my personal recommendation to Julian. That's all I can say. Missed the target, but yeah, looked hard. Okay. Yeah, Mohammed, Umar, Mustafa, you're really my manager, right? You're pushing the crowd and tell them to like, and that's nice. I mean, I appreciate, really. Guys, I mean, it's work. I like it. I like to go live, but what I don't like too much is the preparation work, honestly, guys. Even though it's pushing me into the position that I really need to dig deeper into the topics. I need to confront myself with the current news in the market, with the sealage rate, with stuff which I very likely would not check out in detail when I would not provide you the stream. So it's good aspect. However, it takes always time. So for instance, a stream, I need to prepare something like 3 hours with creating the thumbnail and creating a title and making some notes. I mean, it's not too much. However, that's not what I like so much. What I like is to be on air with you guys here, getting some feedback. That is what I really appreciate. And that's the reason why I'm that long online. So maybe this time we will crush 3 hours, 2 hours, but I try to avoid it, so go quickly further. And so Hinoki wrote right afterwards, for sure we'll cover, and I think we'll go up until $18, but perhaps tomorrow we'll be down 8 till 10%. Yeah, share it. I'm not sure if it goes $18 till next quarter's results. Actually, I don't expect it. Maybe there will come out some good news. In the last weeks and months, I think no great news have been announced by the management or by the investors relation department of STONECO. Maybe that could change things, but I could imagine that it's not changing that heavily. I think there is no need to rush to buy in. Just my personal view on it. Yeah. However, I have my money on the bank account, and why not investing in it if I had already before the forked, yeah. So then again, Hinoki mentioned for sure STONECO's undervalued because of operate in Brazil. I bought the stock in October when it was $9.06. Done big mistake when I sold it for $10.08. After I bought again at $16, hoping in a good 4. I completely can relate to this, really, and that's the reason why I'm not selling that often. I think you need to be mentally very strong and experienced and low emotional, yeah. And even though I think I'm getting better and better mentally, yeah, with all the experiences I have right now, and it's not that much, but it's getting better and better from day to day. I have the feeling. However, I'm definitely not secured of this kind of experiences, and I had a few years ago with crypto some really strong experiences, let's say it like this. And luckily, on a certain level, I kept to my crypto position, even though it's not much, but it was really stressful for me, really stressful, few stressful days. And then I decided, okay, I'm not this type of person who's trading that quickly, and it's not for me about a few percentage more or less. I just want to find nice companies, invest in those companies. It's not some digital stuff. I really see the companies. I want to see the management. I want to see the products, the services, the economics, the political developments. This is what I like to consider. It's my hobby, really. I like to do this evaluation and think about it and dream about the day when I pay finally at the POS terminal of STONECO, as I mentioned already before. And so, guys, yeah, this case, I will stick to it, and I think as well it will rise. You never know what will go on now. I still think it's quite cheap, and yes, I think the Brazilian market is definitely something which is affecting the price negatively. However, I see it positive, the market and the potential, and still, you never know. I mean, it could be the case that now software has a rebound and developing great finally, and still the banking and payment business is heading in the right direction, and they're going with the payment and banking business to new markets outside of Brazil, and maybe they're acquiring a new company and rolling out other services and digging new synergies and network effects. But I really don't know. I mean, I can only see here like this distance, and that's basically news, and that's basically from quarter to quarter. And for me, it's okay. It's definitely not a bad bet. Yeah, that's for sure. And if I would not be invested, especially when I compare it to other companies, I've screened a lot of companies here and there, but I most of the time not even deciding to put them on my watch list. My watch list just I mean, of course, I take always a look at other stocks, but really my core stock list is just currently Sentinel-1 and GitLab, nothing else. So if I ever would not be invested and I would somehow figure out STONECO is existing as a company, it's not unlikely I would invest some money. Not sure how much, maybe some first anchor position and then nibbling and investing more, nibbling more. Not sure how I would keep it. I mean, 1 year ago when I invested initially, the first 2-3 times it was way cheaper. But yeah, I still like the company. Otherwise, I would sell it. Yeah, that's the statement I can give about this. Still growing, but the growth is decelerating correctly. Yeah. Luck up. Yes. Buy more. Come on. Let's see what I will do. No. I'm actually from Germany. Hossein, he's correctly. He's right. So I'm from Germany. But I was 2 weeks ago for a business trip in the Dutch market for 5 days in the Netherlands. Yeah. So maybe sometimes I sound like a Dutch person. I don't think so actually. They speak quite well English, and I'm still working on it to provide you the best experience I can. However, still out of Germany, and you're happy actually. For me, it's better to buy tomorrow because for sure we'll recover. And the last quarter was down 15.8, and after a week 17. Yeah. One more time and last time, I don't know, man. I can only see what I see. I see now the numbers. I'm not 100% satisfied. Hope tomorrow Nubank, Wednesday Grab, Monday next week ALFEN will be better. And Himsenhurst was completely another level from my perspective last week, completely different. But it's not that negative as well. Nothing what shakes me too heavily. It depends. Reasons why I would sell STONECO in the future would be it's really developing really negative next quarter, something like this, or some awkward news is going on. Or another scenario could be that in the next quarters it's still sticking and not moving somehow, or not going back to a more positive level, or it's even slightly developing more negative. Then I would really think maybe I should invest my money in some other opportunities. Yeah, so that's it. But for now it's fine, and I stick to the position. Luck up. First of all, no. Mid-East Germany, it's Leipzig. Leipzig, Leipzig. That's the city, one of the top 10 largest one in Germany. I can strongly recommend you to do a visit or vacation, or when you are in Germany, to visit Leipzig. Nice area in my perspective, especially to live here. The ratio between living costs, groceries, this kind of stuff, and earnings, I think it's right, especially when you maybe work remote or something like this, like a digital nomad. It's definitely a good catch. Okay, and other question is what you think of Alibaba. Honestly, Alibaba and Tencent was both my first stocks. I'm not sure which was actually the very, very first one. I think it was Tencent, but not 100% sure. But Alibaba and Tencent was my first single stocks. Till this point in time, a few years ago, I only was invested in ETFs, even though it was a very own style of how I was invested in ETFs, and how I bought and invested into the ETFs on a monthly base, or even in some drops. It was special. But however, then I decided to invest more and more in single stocks because I felt ready for it. And yeah, RB Leipzig correctly. Woo! I'm not the patriotic guy. I'm not originally from here, but I'm happy that we have here. Even though it's not the biggest traditional club, I'm happy that it set the focus on Leipzig and brings some money here and brings joy to the community. However, I was invested in Alibaba, and I sold Tencent in Alibaba when the rumors surfaced that or occurred that they will separate Alibaba in different subsidies or subsidiaries, so daughter companies for different businesses like like cloud business, like the e-commerce business, and so on and so on. And yeah, I was always quite heavy invested in emerging markets, in the ETFs periods as well in the past. And there was a point in time when I've decided to reduce and compromise my single stock portfolio from roughly, I think 20 stocks it was 2 years ago. 1 year ago, 2 years ago, I decided to really set the focus on more or less 5 stocks. That was always my target, my comfort zone, even if it sounds awkward, but 5 stocks. And Alibaba and Tencent didn't have any place in this regard. And I really decided that, look, even though if I would only be invested in 5 stocks which are located in US, no matter if they do international, their revenue or not, I don't see any reason to be invested by a principle in emerging markets. Yeah, I mean, I'm now invested in Southeast Asia and I'm invested in Latin America. They are obviously emerging markets, so upcoming rising markets, the tiger markets. However, there's no need for this. And right, I sold it. Not the right time. I had definitely I lost a big loss. Not absolutely, a few thousand euros maybe, but relatively it was higher. I'm not sure how much. Maybe not that high. Not sure. 20, 30, maybe even 40%. I have no clue. But I ignored it, I guess. But yes, and I don't want to step back here. And I found my style, or still try to find my style of investing. And it's really being very selective, single stock picking, growth. Best case scenario is really in a leading position, like STONECO is for me best POS provider in Brazil. Nubank is best digital bank in the world from my perspective. ALFEN is best. In Europe, with the best background, European have a high focus on sustainable, eco-friendly solutions. ALFEN is in the best market in my perspective in this regard, with best tailwind economically, and has great solutions, great setup. Grab has from my perspective, all the power, all the parameters and the attributes you want to have as a company to be successful when you want to be someone like a Uber clone, with banking solutions as well. Very good, I think, very good located in Southeast Asia. I see a lot of potential. HIMS for me is a very unique business model, even though it has direct competitors, but it has its separations like personalized solutions, treatments, this kind of stuff, even the utilization of AI, the miracle word, however. And I like to invest in those leaders, in these hidden champions with strong tailwind. I don't need so much diversification. I like to have growth, no matter if it's profit growth in case of STONECO, for instance, or most of the time I prefer revenue growth, like on the other 4 companies I was talking about earlier. And that's my style of investing. And in this case, there's no place, at the moment at least, for companies like Microsoft, not for Alibaba, even though there might be huge potential. Even though there are other companies out there which I'm interested in. Look, for instance, I was quite invested heavily in the cybersecurity space. Like I was invested in CrowdStrike, I was invested in SentinelOne in the past already. I was invested in Palo Alto Networks, and Palo Alto Networks dropped quite heavy. The price increased quite heavily before, but it dropped strongly in the past months, I think. I'm not sure if it recovered already, but I thought I would love to go back to my old love, Palo Alto, because I really like the company. However, I said, no, the store is closed. I have my style. I can't dance on all the weddings out there. That will not be a good party at the end, good experience. It will only be stress for me. And so now I feel comfortable. Don't know if that will be always the case in the future, but I think the only recommendation I can give, and where I cannot get harmed, I think, from any department out there, from any authority, is find your own style of investing. I'm still working on it. I think you always, your whole life, you will develop and change your mind and opinions, but finding your own style of investing, I think, is definitely a key to success in everything in life, I think. when you find a partner, romantic partner for love or whatsoever, or even if you want to stay single, okay. But you know, for someone, this person is nice, for the other one is this person, you know. It can't be the case. It's for everyone the same food, same sport, same hobbies, same stocks, same job, whatever, same place to live, really. And it's really important, I think, especially nowadays with all the social media and media effect effect on impact on us. I think it's important to really listen to yourself, take time to yourself, listen deeply into you, even it sounds a little bit poetic, and make sure you know what your path of life and your style of living is, even though it's not always easy to stick to it, especially when you have more difficult situations sometimes in life. SMA Solar, I can only tell you I was invested in Enphase, and when I reduced my portfolio 1 year ago roughly, or 1.5 years ago, actually one of the first 5 stocks I owned was Enphase. Bavarian one, sorry, nothing, don't take it personally. However, so Enphase Energy was a stock, was one of the 5 stocks, and after this huge decline, first, really, I decided immediately I need to sell it. My investment thesis is gone. Really, it has had huge trouble in terms of revenue development. It was not, and I think Enphase is still not highly cheap. Even the solutions are very good, I think so. And yeah, I know, you're just kidding. Don't worry, Jakob. I think I always look a little bit more like an Eastern European person, but it's up to you. It's not about the look, actually. However, so I was invested in Enphase, one of the first 5 stocks I really reduced and extracted to. And after the first earnings experience, and it dropped heavily, I mean, could share it quickly. Look, now you can see my, so we can go back, and I mean, it was not a nice experience, even though I took it with a certain portion of humor, but so here's the Enphase stock and the chart, the price development, and yeah, so when I purchased it first time, it was maybe something like this here, like around 200, something like this. And then the earnings, I mean, the first one which went very, very bad was that one here. First red one, you see October 26. That is really when the Titanic started to sink. And was it this? Or was it this one, I think, even though? Maybe even this, I need to check it. But I think it was the first miss. Maybe it was the 711 million turnover. And really, I mean, it was always crushing the results, more or less. And in this case, not. And yeah, I went out. Never looked back, even if I'm still observing a little bit the stock, actually, because I'm just simply interested. But for me, look, I invested in ALFEN right afterwards, and even though I'm still with ALFEN 10% in the minus, I'm very satisfied, feeling good with the stock. Same like with STONECO, still feeling good. Yeah, still interested in the future of it. I mean, you don't need to be invested in the stock to follow the future of a stock, however. And yeah, let's see, tomorrow I guess I will put some money where my mouth is. But let's see, guys. Okay, that was it from me. What we got here, SMA revenue last year jumped considerably, but the price really compressed. Yeah, I mean, all the solar stuff, the competition out of Asia, and the overall trouble with the demand. I mean, like funding programs, subsidies have been existed in the past in a lot of markets like Germany, and are not that present anymore. And like for instance in California, is it right? I hope so. Their demand is shrinking a little bit, I mean, they will come back for sure, yeah, but it's always about you, you know, you can wait. Some people can wait for it for 1 or 2 or 3 years. I have decided in this scenario I don't want to wait. That was just my opinion. Even though I would think that Enphase or SMA Solar, or let's say Enphase at least, if I would need to make a guess, a bet, I would say in let's say 1.5 years, it's higher for sure than now. That's my bet. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is. It is. I mean, there's Solar Edge, there's SMA. There are different companies, but really there's some competition going on in the market, and even European companies and key accounts, larger players, they're now considering more and more solutions out of China. Yeah, no matter what kind of renewable energy. Yeah, no matter. I mean, privates anyway they will do it. I mean, if the price is right, they will purchase. In my opinion, they will purchase the same microinverter from a Chinese company than from Enphase if it's half of the price. Solar panels and companies now as well. I mean, even wind turbines, wind turbine generators for the wind industry, or solar panels, all this kind of stuff, or some hydro solutions. China and other Asian players, they're providing it, and competition rises there, you know, and European big players, grid operators, wind farm operators, this kind of stuff, they now starting to consider it as well. Battery storage solutions. Yeah, my 5 top positions, and then I will close the call, guys, because I need to work tomorrow and it's really, really late, and I can imagine that. Let me check out. One moment. I check quickly share my PowerPoint, and you can see my top 5 positions. But they are my only 5 positions. There's not more. Are those at the moment? Let me check if still someone is watching. Just being interested in it, because I already would switch it off actually. 7. I'm still impressed that 7 active viewers are here and 3 people are subscribed. So that's crazy. However, really, in my eyes, I get more tired. Really, I need to function tomorrow. This is something what you need to really take serious. This competitive situation, and as well in this business. Yeah, in all the businesses, but yeah, there are business cases you can copy more easy, some less. Yeah, and producing some batteries, for instance. Obviously, you can see it now with the automotive sector, with a lot of EV cars, which getting rolled out. Xiaomi, the former or still smartphone producer and vendor of other services and solutions, they're rolling out their cars for a very cheap, maybe even supported by the government price. However, it's a cheap price. Build your dreams, you know. And this kind of manufacturers, Geely in general, and still, however, I mean, it's getting more and more infiltrated. It's not negative, you know, it's something I don't want to judge about, but it's just the case. And that can be as well with other solutions, and for sure, I mean, microinverters, solar panels, battery systems, nothing where I would think about it's impossible that Asia and China can really confront established players of the Western market with strong competition. And here you can see it. So my largest position is actually Hims & Hers. I'm invested there. I put it quickly in US dollars, roughly like 27,000 US dollars. I'm invested in Hims & Hers. Second largest is Nu with 16,000 US dollars. The third largest is ALFEN with... ALFEN is larger. I mean, I'm more convinced at Nu, but ALFEN is larger. ALFEN, I have a position of 16,000, 17,000 maybe. 16,000 US dollars. And then STONECO is fourth with 10,000 US dollars. Actually my smallest one. And my fifth I'm messing this up. For me, it's more about how I rate them. So for me, STONECO is on position 4 when I talk about the rating. As you can see here, my sense of capital ranking, it's on 4, but in terms of size, it's 5th. And Grab is on 5th in terms of the ranking, but it's on 4 in terms of the size, and it's something like 12,000 US dollars. So overall, my portfolio is currently something like 80,000 US dollars, and when I invest tomorrow, maybe it's 80,000 and a little bit US dollars. Yeah, was more in the past, was less in the past. I'm leveraged a little bit, so we need to deduct actually a few thousand euros, 10,000 or something like this, US dollars, not euros, US dollars, because I'm getting leveraged money, from a bank, but the interest rate is very low. However, but I'm feeling definitely comfortable, and still checking out GitLab, and it's a DevOps company, market leader together with Microsoft, with GitHub. I somehow like this business, but I still don't understand it so much, and it's still very, very high. But somehow I'm interested to have this to have a digital solution, a SaaS company I would love to have. Or Sentinel-1, cybersecurity, was already involved in it, invested in it. It's a little bit like a small flirt, which I have since I was invested actually, never missed it to check out the earnings and this kind of stuff, and cheering for it. However, it's not sure about it, if I should invest in it. I'm feeling comfortable right now, and it's not about a few days earlier or later. Yeah, that's it. Guys, so really, now we are on the finish line. I'm very thankful for all of you who have joined the call. I hope you are satisfied. I will be tomorrow again live, and still need to prepare my call. That will be definitely a struggle and will be a challenge for me. However, I will do this right in advance of the tomorrow call. Nubank, the player out of Brazil, but active in Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia. And very promising business, largest fintech in the world, now announced that it crushed the 100 million client base number. Crazy. So really the strongest financial player in the world based on the client numbers. And right now, and still a lot of room for improvement, and a lot of space up front for further client base improvements. So this will be tomorrow earnings call, same time, same place, 3:30 ET. On Wednesday, I will announce or guide the earnings of Grab, Southeast Asian Uber, with financial service on top of it. And I think I will do this as well in the evening, but I need to check this out. You will see when you follow me when I will announce and set up the call and the appointment. And next week, my earnings season is already done. It was a very quick one this time, just spread across 3 weeks. Last week Hempstead-Hurst, this week STONECO today, tomorrow NU, the day after Grab, and next week Monday I'm on the finish line with ALFEN, the Dutch electrical solutions provider. So European business, home business almost. And then it's done. Yeah, I can't wait as well for Grab. I mean, for me, it's a little bit more like a ship, like a big boat. It's not like a small rubber boat. It's a big one and needs time. That's just my opinion, and I want to give it time. That's fine for me completely, because I have the feeling it's developing the right direction. It's get profitable, revenues growing right, the GMV, the gross merchant value or volume. I sometimes I'm messing up the words, but however, it's developing as well in the right direction. And of course, right now, the rollout of the banking business in Malaysia and in Singapore, GX and GXS, that's a big hit in my opinion, with the full banking license and credit cards and 100,000 clients in 2 weeks just after launch, and as well after launch of the credit card, 100,000 customers equipped with a credit card, I think as well, within the first 2 weeks after launch. So really there's some momentum, some synergies going on with the super app, and like this very much. I mean, so as well, very interesting for me personally. yeah, nice business, I think. Nice business, even though you never know what will happen. So guys, I hope we will see again each other tomorrow evening. Tomorrow is it's my hottest take actually. I really like new, even if banking business is very difficult for me to evaluate, honestly guys. At the end, I'm just happy when I understand that bottom line and top line revenue and profit goes up. Then I'm really happy already. I mean, I check out as well some other numbers, but yeah, but I like new very, very much. Second rank, I like it. I think what I read about the culture in the business, the overall vibe, something what you can't measure in numbers, sounds really good, man, and I like it so much. Like the idea of the business, and yeah, what brings in and what is new tomorrow and today already. I mean, doing business and rolling out very aggressively the financial services. Grab could be this with their new banks, new rolled out banks in Singapore and Malaysia, and the payment services might be, so Grab might be the new of the future, yeah, in Southeast Asia at least. So great. I mean, I have a little bit too much investments, I think, in financial sector, honestly, guys. However, really looking forward for tomorrow in this regard, and Grab will be interesting, and ALFEN is a secret hind. I want to have a local player. I see the potential. I visit the headquarters. It's definitely existing, the new headquarters, I can say. I will share with you photos next week, Monday, of my tour. I mean, when I stand in front of it, nothing too special, however. And I think that's a gem for the people who are not located here. Yeah, maybe Dutch people know ALFEN, some of them. I saw a lot of EV chargers out there in front of hotels where I was accommodated in. But maybe when you are from Asia, maybe you are from Arabia, maybe from America, you are not used to ALFEN, and so that might be interesting for you guys as well. Yeah. So I try to have a broader portfolio and provide different varieties of interesting stocks, and of course still same by myself invested and feeling with the results, and makes it very interesting. Again, one more time, thank you very much, guys. Hope you will join tomorrow, Wednesday, next Monday, or at the next investment portfolio update. You check it out or whatsoever, or next earnings season if you are just interested in STONECO. I'm absolutely appreciated. Everyone who joined, who subscribed, who liked it, please feel free to comment it. Please make sure, if you like, to check out my X and my Reddit and my Instagram account, A Sense of Capital. It's linked as well in my YouTube channel if you want to search it and visit it. I mean, I don't take care of it each day or whatsoever, but here and there I take care of it, and I have more plans with it in the future. And yeah, I'm very happy somehow with the outcome. It was a great experience. I liked it. I liked to spend the last 2.5 hours with you guys. It was a pleasure. Okay, Mohammed, let's talk about it on Wednesday. I really need to switch off right now, but a very interesting aspect. Please join and then explain it. And thank you very much for following. Thank you very much, highly appreciate. And let's talk about this on Wednesday, yeah, when it's grab time, and one more time, crunch time. Guys, one more time, disclaimer, all of the stuff I communicated to you is no financial advice or consultation whatsoever. There's no guarantee for correctness of the provided data. Make sure you do always your own research, and way more important, make sure you stay healthy and take care of yourself and your beloved ones. And yeah, looking forward to see you next time. Best in case tomorrow. All the best. Cheers. Bye bye, guys.